Do it. Hit that chunk. Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay.
Let's
It's
do it.
about
Let's
time.
hit that. Yeah.
Oh, snap. That took a minute
Yeah,
to
it's
set up, but we
time.
got it. We got it.
Took a second, took a couple of tries, but we back in the game. You feel
How we
me?
doing? How we doing, Kinka Joe? How's it going? How's the weather over there?
We're doing great. Weather's been beautiful. It's been like 80 degrees outside, sun
Ooh.
beating on my face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's been cruising. Should have gone to the beach. I haven't gone to the beach yet.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
try to do it maybe later today and just like hang out for a second. It's been nice. It's been like really bliss since you left.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like the fucking rain follows me and it's pouring outside. It's pouring outside.
Wait, in Maryland?
It's pouring. Like it's
No way. It was sunny when I got there,
that's what
bro.
I'm saying, bro. I'm sorry if you don't like rain, Marylanders, but I had to bring it. And it's 62 right now, but it's raining like crazy. But it's kind of a
Bro, it
vibe.
must be you, bro. It must be you. Because the
I've been
moment you left, weather has been great. And then the moment you get back, it will not be great anymore.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what that's all about, but you know,
Yeah, I don't know
wherever I
what
go,
that's
bro,
about.
wherever I go. And the funny thing is, like in California, it's been raining consistently. Like
That's
it's
what
been
I'm
like raining
saying. Like
consistently.
nonstop, it's been raining, cold, or windy every day for the past like 4, 5 months. The
Yeah,
moment you leave, it's great. It is
right, right.
fantastic.
I don't know,
Like,
man. I don't know.
oh my god, I felt like we're back in LA weather mode. I was like, whoa, it's warm. The wind is picking up a little bit, so it's cooling me down from that busting sun. Like it's been great on my skin. You know what I mean? It's
Good.
been real great on my skin.
Yeah, the swamp weather. I won't be in it for too long, but like it's interesting because like I think I've talked about this before, but like when I first
Yeah.
moved out to LA, that's the first thing I noticed is that like the dry heat was like so much better for my skin than like the moist heat of DC, Maryland. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I don't know what it is. I mean, you tell me about your experience first, but for me, it was like it was crazy.
Right. Yeah. Um, yeah. So I'm not, but actually, it doesn't feel bad right now outside. It feels
That's good.
nice. Like it was hot yesterday. That's the interesting thing. Like the cool nights in, you know how LA is like hot in the day, but then cold like at night.
Yeah, it's
The nice
cold
thing
at
about
night.
Maryland, like, is that it stays like kind of, at least it stays a little bit what it was during the day for the most part. So you
I see,
can
because it's
trust the
moisture.
weather. If you need a t-shirt or you need a jacket, you can usually trust it. But in LA, it's like you go out and it's 86 degrees. It's probably gonna be like 60 something later, or it's gonna feel like it. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. I guess it's a matter of perspective because for me, I felt like you could trust LA weather because you know it's going to be warm in the day, chilly at night, but you know it's going to happen every time. Whereas
Right, right, right.
Maryland, like the actual weather conditions change by the hour. I was there once and it was hailing for 30 minutes and then switched to bright sunny skies and then it rained again for 3 hours and it was like
Yeah,
all over the place.
that's true. Maryland does also have crazy weather. Like it's unpredictable, but
Yeah.
at least like on a summer
Temperature
day or
wise,
something,
yeah.
yeah, like you can usually trust a summer day and stuff like that.
No,
But
summer's gonna be hot, bro. That's why I don't know what it was, but when I went back over there, like the
yeah,
moisture in the air was taking the moisture out of my skin. So I had like these really dry rashes
yeah, and I would
around
have
the side of
acne and
my
stuff all
eyes.
on my cheeks if you remember during high school. It was definitely partially
Yeah.
puberty, but it was also definitely the weather. But hold on, I
Yeah.
actually got to go blow my nose. I know I always do this, but Sean only podcast.
Jesus freaking Christ, dude. At this point, you guys, I'm trying my hardest to hold this pod together. You see what this man is doing? You see what he's up to? Does it look like I try to do this? Like, like. Anyway, let me open up with the intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sean Only Starbound podcast. Really, I feel like the whole podcast is the Sean Only Starbound. But look at this. I'm looking at his room right now, bro. Unbelievable. Anyway, I've been going through. I feel like Kendrick Lamar from that one album. I've been going through something. 5,600, whatever however many days he's been saying he's been going through. But I've been personally going through something. Um, I don't know if I've mentioned on this pod that I've been in my writing phase because I've switched out of music and back into just like writing scripts for films. And I just finished the first draft of the short film I want to make. Um, Yeah, I'm just
I can hear.
updating them. Okay, good. I'm glad you're caught up.
I'm listening too, bro.
But
You know, I'm an audience member to the Sean Only podcast when I'm not on
that's
stream.
true. That's actually true. That's actually
Yeah.
true. Might be.
That's what I'm saying. You're
But
scrutinizing your listeners. You know, you're like, hey,
I'm
I'm
not
here, I'm not
scrutinizing my
here.
listeners. I'm scrutinizing you. That's a very big difference. Very
Go
big
ahead. So you're
difference,
getting into your
man.
writing bag this
So I've
this
been
week.
getting into my writing bag. I just finished the first draft of my script. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew, but you don't. It's one of the things where like you know about it versus knowing what it feels like. So just completing the first draft of my script. This is the first time I completed any draft of any film script in the last. I feel like it's been 2 years,
Yeah.
give or take. I know
I mean,
who avenged Mr. President is somewhere in there, but that was kind
yeah.
of different because that was originally not my script, and then I
That,
improved it.
that script has been written for a
Um,
long time. I remember being here when I was like sending you some stuff about it. Remember, I was like, we were talking about how we wanted to like tie up the series, and you like sent me a few like the script, and I was like, ooh,
yeah,
like, and that was happening when I was at home. So I don't know if that was like over a break or something. Well, we filmed it. We
we
filmed it
filmed it over
last,
winter break,
not
last
yeah,
winter break.
not this last January, but like 2022 January or something like that.
Yeah,
But I don't. But I think the script was like even before that.
that's what I'm saying. We shot it then, but we finished the script like maybe 4 or 5 months before that. And that version of the script has been like lying around for even like 2, 3, 4 years before that. So,
That I dude, it's
that
so
story's been
wild.
old.
It's kind of like music, and like you write the songs or something, and then it drops like a year later. Like we talked about leaving Saturn, and then you're like
Yeah.
completely out of the mindset by the time you're done with it. I feel the same way about writing. It's like you might write a script and then you do the show or whatever. Like I even wrote something in college, and I like made a movie about it later during COVID because like we had to do our final projects like virtual, and so I just did this like I did this like King script that I wrote, and
Mm-hmm.
I made it because I had this directing class, and I just decided to like do it at home with like the stuff I had at home. Like we used like
Mm-hmm.
drumsticks as swords and stuff because it was like, I had to do this project in a very limited amount of time, and like it was
Mm-hmm.
when everybody was on lockdown and stuff. And so I just kind
Yeah,
of
COVID was crazy.
right, but I was cool
COVID
because I
is
was able
another
to
reason why I had to switch out of my film bag and switch into music. It was like a what's the word?
bunker down.
Paradigm shift. It was a paradigm shift for I think a lot of people, but continue.
Exactly. I mean, like you had to bunker down and do something that you could do with the constraints you had, right? So like
Yeah.
my script that I had written like 2 semesters prior probably like had 3 characters in it. And so I got Jay and Ashley, my siblings, to like act in that with me. And so that was fun. That was like a cool way to get to do that. And
That's nice.
yeah, so that was cool. And speaking of Jay acting, he's got his closing night tonight. I saw the
Oh
Addams Family
yeah, of the
yesterday.
Addams Family musical. Can we get into this bag real quick?
Oh
So
yeah,
like tell me about it.
it was
You saw
awesome.
it yesterday, right?
Snap. Let me see if I can.
Not
Should
to
I
say
get
that
the?
we're sponsored by WJ production, but well, we can be sponsored. It's cool.
Yeah, shout out WJ. But what was I gonna say? You want me to go get the program, or should I just tell you about it?
There's a program. Get the program for information based,
Okay,
man.
let me go get the program. Sorry to give you Sean only podcast
I'll hold it
information.
down. I'll hold it down. Anyway, this guy, and I'm just playing. But yeah, I've been into my writing bag recently where I felt such a great sense of accomplishment and relief and power. I don't know if I've talked about on this podcast again, but J. Cole said this whole thing in one of his um like album documentary things. Uh he was saying that the more like rusty or what's the word, like kind of like out of the loop you are with your particular art or profession or whatever, the more fear builds up in your mind that you're not that good, or you will never be that good, or you take forever hoping that this great inspirational thing will come one day when it never will. Like basically the less you work into something, the more it'll actually hold you back and scare you away from it. So for me as a writer to be able to finish that, now I have like my brain snapped where I feel like I can write 3 movies a day now instead of just
Yeah.
like working on this one for weeks. You know what I
Dude, I
mean?
feel you. Like I feel like sometimes like it takes so long to get that first script off the ground because like you want to like perfect it and you want your like first attempt or something that even if it's like a first attempt in a few years, you feel like rusty. You want it to be perfect and
Yeah.
you don't want to jump back into the game and like
Yeah.
the initiating it is what stops you, right? Um but then like once you finish it and you're like, oh my gosh, I can do this, I feel like there's less pressure on yourself or on myself like to perform like to prove something that you can write this like you know how they always say
Yeah.
like what's it called know the rules before you break them. It's
Yeah.
like you have to like prove to yourself every time you know you pick up the pen and it's been a minute, oh do I
Yeah.
remember the rules, and then you write your script, you're satisfied, and then you can just kind of write whatever you want. I feel like mentally it's like a block is taken away or something like that.
Yeah, it's like every time you write a new script, a block is removed. And it's I feel like the flowing of ideas and like how to write it and what it should look like just comes a lot more easily because you broke that initial wall. I don't
Yeah.
want to treat it in terms of something inappropriate, but it's like having sex for the first time. You know what I mean? Once you're broken in, it's a lot easier just to get into the flow of what it is that you want to do. I know that sounds wild, but I feel like that's actually the closest thing I could connect with this particular feeling. It's
I
like,
understand
all
the
right, now I'm
analogy. I
ready.
understand the analogy. um
The let's go. The Addams Family, April 14, 15, 16, 21,
Here it
and
is.
22. Look
Yes.
at that. Walter Johnson High
Um,
School.
yeah, so it was awesome. Jay
Can
plays.
you tell me about it? Like, what is this show? Like, what is it? The Addams Family show.
Yeah, so like for those that are familiar or no, basic rundown. I think most people have heard of the Addams Family. It's like you know the how do you pronounce it? Macabre? Is that how you say it? M-A or what is it? Like
I don't know how to
MCABRE or something like
pronounce
that.
no like
Like
who's that? The writer or
they're like
something?
the macabre dark family, you know, like the humor is like it's like kind of like torture humor and stuff like that. Like they're all dark. They
You
instead
talking
of
about
being
the Addams family in
scared,
general?
yeah, the Addams family. Instead of
Uh,
being scared of like daily things that normal people are scared of, I guess they're excited by fear and like you know they're always doing dangerous stunts and stuff like this. Like um you know there's
nah, they're like if creepy was a lifestyle choice, you know what I mean? Like an aesthetic. I feel
yeah.
like the Addams family portrays what it looks like if creepy was a lifestyle.
Yeah, and we talked about Wednesday when it came out earlier on the podcast, like a few months ago and stuff. And
A
so,
word?
yeah, and so this show is cool. It's like Wednesday kind of finds like Wednesday finds this like love interest that supposedly comes from like a normal family he does. And
Mhm.
Jay, my brother, is like the father of the normal family, basically. Like, and it's
Wow.
fun because like you know, it's sort of like the Addams family is like supposed to be like the embodiment of weird, and then like this other family is supposed to be the embodiment of normal. And so like the normal, you know, it's fun because you get like character interactions between like Gomez and Mal, who are the dads, and then Morticia and Alice, who are like the moms, and then you get Wednesday and Lucas, who are the kids and stuff.
I was
And
gonna
then
say,
you
do you get like a lot of like straight man, weird character type of energy?
yeah, like I would say like it's kind of
Kind
the
of like
dynamic.
what's that one movie? Like kind of like how like you know Jack Sparrow and then I think his name was Turner, William Turner. Like he's a straight man for Jack Sparrow's like wonky, weird
Oh yeah, exactly,
character. Like that
exactly.
dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, yeah, Jay's kind of like the straight man because he's like supposed to be like the father of this like normal family and like, you know, but then the Adams are trying to like for Wednesday's sake kind of be normal, but like they suck at being normal because they're like the Adams family and like, you know,
Yeah.
but then, you know, obviously there's like character interactions between and like you know relationships are formed and stuff like that, but overall it's just really fun, it's entertaining, the cast did a great job. It was great to go back and see how WJ was doing and
I was gonna say, do you feel like the young lady that played Wednesday, she was probably pressured into trying to just mimic uh
I thought
Jenna
she did a
Ortega's performance, or did she kind of like do her own thing with it?
she did a fantastic job. I thought she did her own thing. I thought she did her own thing. Yeah. I mean,
I figured
there
that would happen because that show just recently came out and it boomed. Like everybody was talking about it. So I don't see how you don't like try to just do what Jenna Ortega did. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, I think like there's a few different like iterations now of the Addams family. So like you can
Yeah,
take from multiple different stuff, you know what I'm saying? The
that's
thing that's
true.
interesting is that the musical was kind of written around the musical was written like before the show and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like the musical already kind of had this concept of Wednesday being older and getting married, which like you don't usually see. So I feel like the
Hmm.
show took probably a little bit actually from the musical. I'm not 100% sure on that. But like if you think
No,
about it,
it's a weird thing how inspiration works. I definitely think I agree with you. I think the show took from the musical along with the movies and the comics and yada da da.
yeah.
Um, but now that like pop culture has slightly shifted after Wednesday, the musical could then also now take from Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Much like how like Star-Lord is now in like the comics, like he looks kind of like Chris Pratt's Star-Lord. Like it's
Or how like Bane from like the Batman universe, like after Chris Nolan did Bane, Bane was different. Now
right.
Bane always has like that voice with like the vest and everything. So
Exactly. Um so um so yeah, I'm sure there was like some influence here and there, but the show like it didn't the show is already like I said, the show is already kind of written, so I feel like it was more so that Wednesday the script for the TV series was written maybe with some inspiration from the musical rather than the other way around.
right. But what about performance?
Performance felt like
Felt like their own thing.
yeah, it felt like their own thing. I mean, like it felt like, you know, here's the problem, here's the tricky part about putting on a show that's based on like a classic thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
you want to like imitate, but you don't want to copy. And so I felt like everybody did a fantastic job of embodying the characters without without like copying one iteration. Like so it's like
I see.
I really felt like I could tell that that like to me it felt like the cast had like watched a few different versions of the Addams family, or maybe they just read the script and took their own things away. And they yeah, I didn't feel like anybody was like imitating one actor or actress or something.
That's
I just
good.
felt like
Especially
they
because that original Addams Family movie is so iconic that like it
oh
almost
yeah.
feels like that's the original version of the Addams Family right there.
Yeah, but there's like a bunch of versions now. There's like animated
Yeah.
cartoons, there's like the original like comics that they
The
made. There's
actual
like
original written, yeah.
right now that then there's the family like in Wednesday that you know, so there's like different versions and stuff. And I feel like that's probably helpful to like because like if there's like one I feel like if there's like one reference source, that's when it can be tricky to play a character. Because like if it was if anything, like I would say like the show Wednesday probably helped with some like seeing a different version of the Addams family because it like makes the characters
Mm,
more like universal characters that don't have an like one actor or actress behind them and more so
mhm.
like superheroes almost where they are you know it's not like you know Morticia is blank like one person but like Morticia is the walks like this or more and like every actor you know might take a little bit from the other actor kind of like how like you know obviously Joaquin Phoenix took some inspiration from Heath Ledger like duh
Yeah,
right even though
yeah.
he's still like a completely different Joker at the same time.
And that's the thing. I think when you're dealing with a legendary or iconic character, there's a certain DNA that will always be there throughout any iteration of this character.
Yeah,
And when it's not there, people hate it.
yeah,
People like want to like destroy it or something. Like it's like a personal attack. But there is a way to keep the DNA there of the character, but also do something with the character that's from you and your personality. So I think,
Yeah, totally.
finding
Yeah.
that gray area is not only it's important, it's key.
The um the set was really cool and the choreography was awesome. I don't know if you remember.
WJ
Well,
never
I'm sure you
fails when it
remember.
comes
You
to
remember our
sets.
choreographer, Bryce?
She's still there.
She choreographed the Addams Family.
Damn. She's pretty
Yeah.
good. I like
So
her.
yeah, it was cool to see her. And there was this really cool, there was this dance scene with Morticia and Gomez that was really good. I remember. Like it was like they did like a dance together. And that was
That's
like very
cute.
well choreographed and stuff like that. And the whole thing was honestly like the dances and stuff like that. It was really, really a fun show. And I feel like it was definitely, I feel like all the costumes and stuff were so cool. Like that, a very exciting show to
I
put
always
on.
question, where does WJ get the budget for these shows? Because they look expensive.
You
They don't
know,
like no regular high school musicals.
right. And the pit was great too. Like it's like a full
Pitt
fledged,
never freaking
you know,
fails. Let's go, Pitt!
the pit was
The
awesome.
orchestra
Yeah,
needs to
it
be in
sounded
that
great.
gang.
And I'm going again tonight because I want to see the other. This is Jay's off night, but the other cast because there's two casts.
True, true, true.
So
Okay, so you can kind of like judge the different casts and see the different iterations.
yeah, it's the same thing that we did back in the day. We had that same thing, and like now Jay's
Even
gonna.
though did we?
Yeah. Oh well, you did Pitt for
I did
Poppins.
Pitt. I guess so I was on regardless, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
But
do
like,
remember a little bit of
yeah, so
that.
I'm excited to see it, and Jay will be dancing and stuff, obviously, tonight. So that'll be cool. Um,
That's actually gonna be super awesome. Yeah, I did a little bit of I I did a small concert in the apartment while you were gone, and I just played like 20 songs back to back and try to like do a little performance. I don't know how people do it, bruh.
what do you
Like,
mean you try to put on a performance in the apartment?
it's far too embarrassing, but I put my music together. Like, I was like, all right, if I was gonna put on like a show, you know what I mean? Like what would the track list look like? Like how long would I play each song? Like what verse would I use? Like what would be like my moves? Like what would be my like audience involvement parts? Like I was trying to put on a show and just see what it would look like, right?
Yeah.
Um and I realized into like track 3, I was like, Jesus, how do artists do this for 1 hour? I'm tired. I'm like dancing. I'm like, but dancing plus like rapping or singing, like you're out of breath even more quickly
Oh
because you're using
yeah.
your voice.
Wait,
I
wait. So
got a
you
little
you queued
taste
up
of it.
your songs?
Yeah, I queued up because I have a lot of songs out now. I have like
Yeah.
18 songs out. So
Oh, dude, I love
I
that. I
have
love that you were
enough.
practicing for your concert.
That's what I'm saying. I was just trying to put it on, like, all right, like if I'm trying to hype the crowd out, like, what's my go-to song to start off with? Like, where's my slow part? How am I gonna end the night? Like, I was trying to think that through, and man,
Was it
it
fun?
was exhausting. It was really fun. It was like stupid fun, but it was so
Dude,
exhausting.
dancing is tiring. Dancing is so tiring, but it's awesome. It's such great exercise. That's my best way. That's my favorite way to exercise, to dance.
No, it's fantastic. But now
Uh,
I'm looking at these shows where people have to do that, such as Jay's musical, and
mhm.
also like this is recent news too, the Frank Ocean show at Coachella.
That Ashley
I'm
just
like,
went to.
dang, yeah, I actually just went to that. I'm just like, yo, respect to anybody that does like a show for longer than 3 songs. That jaunt is not easy.
It's tiring. Yeah, it's
It is
tiring.
not
And
easy.
but it's fun, man. I remember when I had like the other night in Poppins, I had to do like 5 quick changes. Like I had to change my costume like 5 times for the dance scenes and stuff. And it was so exhausting because like the dances are like back to back and stuff like that. And like it's so fun though at the same time. Like I remember we got to do like the chimney sweep outfits and stuff like that.
Those chimney outfits they're hard.
They're fun. And I've been getting like the
They're hard.
Snapchat memories of like the photos and stuff like that from the
Mhm.
production. And like I remember like we got all like the like chimney sweep, like dirt on our face and like the British hats
Blackface.
on. I don't think that's what
I'm just
they
trying to
were
get you. I'm
going
just trying to get TMZ on you. I'm playing.
trying to
I'm
TMZ.
playing.
But like yeah, and so it's cool. And like Yeah, it's nice because Jay and I were able to like, go and see some of the productions together. So now to like see Jay on the WJ stage is very cool.
Taking his own reins, right? This is like
Yeah.
his show now. It's not just him going with you to check out a show or seeing your show. Like this is his show.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. And yeah, so this is his closing night. And the show ends after tonight. This is the second weekend of shows and stuff like
This is the
that.
last show. Ooh.
Yeah, and so I'm excited to go check it out. And yeah, it's gonna be
Do you
awesome.
feel is it a very emotional show? Do you feel or more leaning
Emotional.
towards
I would say it's more so comedy. Like it's supposed to be. And it is funny. It's really funny. Like the dry humor like goes well with like with the comedy because it's like like the Addams. I was like,
Mhm.
what's their last name again?
Yeah.
The Adams are so ridiculous, and then the normal family is like normal at first, but then you learn that I think the message is kind of that like no one's really normal, kind of is like not,
Yeah.
and so it's
I
just
just feel
fun.
like I just feel like when we did what's that show that we did? That musical. God. Mary Poppins.
Yeah,
Mary Poppins, right? I didn't realize because before we did the show, I was like, all right, cool. Mary Poppins is a cute Disney story, yada, yada. But by that last show, Mary Poppins became like the most emotional show that I've ever like been a part of in my entire life, bro. Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
music was like hitting just right. I feel like we were close to what heaven like was feeling like, and there was a lot of emotions in the room on that last particular show. So I'm curious if Jay will have a similar experience on this last show.
Yeah, I'll let you know what he says, and I'll probably bring it up on the next Starbound too, because I'll have a
Yeah, I'm
Saturday to talk about.
curious.
I'm one show in. But yeah, I heard that from Jay and from a few other people's perspective that everybody was really happy with how the show went last night, which was fantastic because it was like fantastic. Everybody did great. No technical difficulties as far as I could tell.
That's impossible.
Yeah, none.
At a Walter Johnson High School production, there was no technical
I mean,
difficulties.
dude, I'm no stranger to like production, issues. Like it happens in so many, it happens to everybody that's acted. You know what I'm saying? Like it always happens. But I was surprised. I mean, I wasn't surprised because we've had shows that have had no production issues at all. But yeah, there was like no production problems. I mean, like even
For
like
Mary Poppins, there definitely was, bro. There was definitely like a
not
mic fluke.
not every night though.
No, not every night.
Not
There
every
will be
night
some nights where it's
exactly.
like there's no
But
issues.
yeah, like so it was a great performance, and
That's
everybody did
fantastic.
great, and the tech did great, and
They
the
probably worked out
music
the
was great.
kinks.
Yeah, it was awesome. And so yeah, that's 10 out of 10 my review.
Let's
um
go. A 10 out of 10. That's a high praise.
yep.
That's a high
And
praise. I'm glad.
yeah, it was great to see everybody, very cool.
Speaking of shows, not to segue out, but speaking of shows that maybe or may not have received such a high rating, you want to talk about this Frank Ocean jaunt that happened recently?
Yeah, dude, so that was crazy. I actually picked the right weekend to go to Coachella.
That's what I'm saying, bro. People are
Like
mad. You know, people are pissed off right now, bro.
I heard, yeah, because apparently, like Ashley was telling me before she pulled up, that's why my sister was visiting us in LA because she was like going to Coachella, and
Yeah.
she bought tickets a long time ago. But
She's also
um,
like the stupidest. She's like a really like stupid Frank Ocean fan. I
she
mean,
loves Frank
stupid in
Ocean,
like big, not like
yeah, and
stupid
like
as in
she's
dumb.
been a Frank Ocean fan for a while.
Yeah, she
I
loves
honestly
Frank.
became a Frank Ocean fan like this year, and so like when she bought tickets last year, I didn't. First of all, it was really expensive, but second of all, I was like, I don't really know Frank Ocean that well, so I didn't,
Yeah,
even
I'm not a Frank. I love Frank too, but it's more of an like a casual love. Like because these are
right.
amazing songs, but I'm not like a fan. Like
I would
Ashley
say
seems
like
like she's a
yeah,
fan. Like
she
she was
knows
like,
right. She knows like details about Frank Ocean and stuff like that. But I love his music. Like I really been getting into Frank Ocean this year. Our meeting will end in 10 minutes, unfortunately. But
dang.
yeah, and so I think if if I was as big a Frank Ocean fan last year as I am now, I probably would have gone to Coachella with Ashley or something like that. But she'd already bought the tickets and stuff like that. So
Even
when
though I
she,
heard the performance wasn't like too crazy.
the
You know
thing
what
that
I
I've heard
mean?
about
I hear
Frank
a lot of
Ocean
people
is,
whining about it.
yeah, but the thing that I've heard is that he is kind of like camera shy or something, or he's like performance shy, like he has like stage fright or something. And so I always kind of thought about it like he was an artist that, you know, like tried to like create his craft on Spotify or like, just platforms like music platforms. And that's where he wanted his art to be showcased, right? And so to me, it's like, all right, well, I appreciate Frank Ocean in my earbuds. Like I don't need to see him live, basically. But at the same time, I would love to see Frank Ocean live because he has so many fantastic songs, right? But if he's uncomfortable with it, like that's okay. But the one thing that I can understand why some people are frustrated is like, you pay all this money, especially if you're going second weekend to see Frank Ocean, and then like you better get a refund if he's not performing. You know what I'm
That's what I was
saying?
gonna say,
Like,
bro. Like, I understand. I mean, I'm gonna make an argument here and say that Frank Ocean was releasing music before like Apple, Spotify, and those things were actually that big.
when
So
did
we
he like
can't
start making music?
feel like 20 with the Odd Future gang, that's like 2012. Eleven,
Oh,
12,
right,
13, 14,
right. What did
15.
he have his
So that's
own?
right before streaming became like a thing.
Yeah,
So
he
I
had
feel
like,
like,
what was his first stuff that he dropped? Swim Good
yeah,
was
check it for
2011.
me. But it's probably during that era where album sales or like individual music track sales were big. Like that's how you get the money. And also doing shows. Any artist will tell you that's
Yeah.
where the money is,
Channel
right?
Orange is 2012. But Ashley did say that he announced that he's making more music and stuff from the first weekend.
And I know that like probably the only reason he came to Coachella was to promote his name again because he hasn't
Right.
been out here for a long time. But I
Yeah.
don't know who's on his team or whatever. I don't think for you being in the dark for so long, I don't think doing a Coachella show was a good idea.
I think that's a reasonable statement to make just because it's like the like big festival, and like he is big enough to headline it, right? But it's like if you have stage fright and like weren't sure about performing and also canceled second weekend. I know it says he because he got an injury though. So, you can
There
argue that.
was word of an injury, but like from what I'm hearing, there's more than just injury related things that kind of relate that might have brought the value of the show down.
Ashley said,
And
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
to my perspective, I feel like not, and this isn't to shit on Frank because I think Frank is a fantastic, he's one of the best artists ever. But he hasn't performed in years.
Yeah.
In fact, anyone that knows about Frank will tell you this guy does not like that glamorous lifestyle, doing shows and performing for people. That is not his thing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think him being that type of person should be headlining Coachella, one of the
Right. That
biggest
that's
festivals
right.
out here.
That's what I was kind of thinking. It's like this is kind of a lot to jump to. But here's the thing. He's hard to catch in live performance,
Yeah, no shit. He's
right?
hard to
Right.
catch,
So
bro.
Ashley's a
Like,
huge Frank Ocean fan, right? So she got tickets. She got lucky with the weekend she picked. She picked the right weekend.
that's what I'm saying. I'm
And
like, look, yeah, go ahead.
and she said that, yeah, it was, you know, the sense that I got without,
Mm.
I don't remember exactly how she said it, but the sense that I got is that there was a few pauses like between songs. So like a little bit of awkward silence. And it wasn't quite, it wasn't like they were throwing down. It was more like a slow set type thing. And like
I mean,
you
it's
didn't even
Frank.
see
You're
Frank
not
for
gonna
some of
try
it
not to
because he was like
Frank.
behind something, like he was hiding himself. But she still really enjoyed the performance because she got to see Frank Ocean live. Like she knew going in, that Frank Ocean was a little had stage fright or something, like there was something that he like wasn't used to doing live. She knew very well that, and I think a few people thought that he might end up canceling or something like that, but she
Mm.
was just happy to see Frank Ocean live because of how important his music is to her. And I still think if I was there the first weekend or something, I would have really enjoyed seeing him live, even though even you minus all, because it's
Yeah.
like I know, like I said, like I appreciate him as a, like for what he's already created, and like the songs, like they I really
Mhm.
appreciate them a lot too. And so my favorite is Moon River, like his rendition of Moon River. I
Yeah.
love that song. I just love how he does it and stuff. But I also love a bunch of his songs, like all of his songs. And
And that's the thing, like Frank has the songs to back him. So say what you will about what he did at Coachella for that show. He has fans that love him so much that it doesn't matter. You don't have to put on crazy lights, fireworks, set. You don't even have to play the right versions of your songs. Just having your presence there is important to your fans.
right.
So, and that's what I mean. Like, say what you will about his show. I'm not going to shit on him for having like a bad show,
Right,
which
it
I don't think he
happens,
had
bro. It
anyway.
happened. We just talked
But
about
what I
stage
am
mishaps. Stage mishaps always
That's what I'm saying.
happen. Like,
They
like they,
always
yeah,
they always happen. So I'm not shitting on him for that. But I am gonna shit on him for not doing it again the next weekend.
that is fair. And I
Yeah.
hope those of you that tried going second weekend and
Yeah, I'm sorry
didn't,
for y'all,
I hope
bro.
you're able to get your refund, because that's not cool. I
And
hope
things
that,
do come up, so I want to
yeah,
leave like a gray
no,
area in saying that
yeah,
maybe something happened and you just could not do it again.
that's what I'm
But if
saying.
it was just off of like, oh, he didn't really like how that first one went, so we just decided not to do a second one. Like for me, if that was the case,
Right.
you shouldn't do that, man. Like
That's an if
give people
though.
even your shitty
That's an
performance.
if,
It's an if. I'm not
it's
saying
an
it's
if.
like the
Yeah.
definitive truth, but if
Yeah.
that was the truth, I think he should have stuck through it and did that second show.
That being said, I don't know how the crowd, like I know Ashley told me that a lot of people didn't like it because of all those reasons, but when we went to Rolling Loud, like my whole fam went, like,
Mm-hmm.
and Kid Cudi left the stage in the middle because he was getting water bottles thrown at him and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, because it's like if you're on stage trying to sing and then you get a
And you're getting
freaking
attacked,
water bottle chucked at you
assaulted.
only because Kanye quit the show and people are mad that like Kid Cudi went in his place. It's like why are you injuring, like throwing projectiles at an artist just for performing instead of another artist? Like that, he's doing a service. And not to
And also,
mention
this isn't any artist. This is freaking Kid
Kid
Cudi.
Cudi. That's what I'm like. Kid
This is
Cudi's
not no
fantastic.
freaking
Yeah.
Joe Blow off of the fucking bloke. This is Kid motherfucking Cudi. He
So
has saved
maybe,
lives, bro.
yeah. And I heard something about Frank
Unbelievable.
Ocean going through something, grieving or something like that. And
Oh, did he lose somebody?
I'm not sure. I just one of our friends said that. And I wasn't
I do feel
sure.
for that. That's
Yeah,
that's hard
so
to
I'm not
go
sure what he's
through.
going through, but you never know what an artist is going through. So I try not to put too much blame on the artist. That being said, I hope you get your money back if you try going second weekend.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Because again, like this is a hard guy to catch, but luckily, he is doing another album. I think maybe them
Yes, that's
funds are
good.
running a little low, so he's gonna give y'all more of what you've wanted for the past. It's a
Yeah.
lot of years. It's like
If
8 years, I think.
if you didn't like the live performance, just listen on Spotify or Apple Music, you don't got to see him live. Like it's okay. That you don't have
Yeah,
to.
it's okay. Take that L
Yeah.
because if he's dropping a new album, odds are he's going to do another performance later for
Yeah.
his new song.
Yeah.
So just wait it out, man. Like wait
Yeah.
it out.
Okay, we have like 1 minute left, but I think this is
Oh,
good. We
yeah.
got the Addams Family and Coachella in. Those are pretty fun,
You
pretty
got
fun
Addams
topics.
Family. I talked about a little bit my writing phase, my writing bag, and then
Writing,
Frank
yeah,
Ocean. Those are three big topics I hope people enjoy.
those are good. And
So
I hate that we always have to make it short with the Zoom meetings, but I think we got a lot in. So you want to
I
say
think that was
your
perfect timing, bro. I think we got the
yeah.
unlock, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like we can do this all day, bro.
I know. All right,
Yeah.
everybody. I got another show to see tonight, so I gotta get ready. And
And I
but
will
it's been
talk to
fun.
y'all later. It's been cool. Anyway, it's been King Kudjo
And cough drippy.
and
Until next time.
2 Chains.
Peace. Oh snap! How do I do this?